Oh, there you go. Isn't it always interesting how everything's in focus for a second and then it dies again? So anyway, I had a little buying spree the other day and it still doesn't want to go in focus. As you know, I've had a few issues with these USB batteries, so I went and got, well, actually 3, yeah. 1 packet, 2 packets, and 3 packets. So anyway, I've been banging around trying to look for stuff to use to charge it. And so I can get some of these older ones and rehash them, because I had a battery bank that never worked. It tried to charge for 12 hours and never charged up. And I've got a feeling there's like a bulk charge at 4.2 volt. And at a certain point it switches over to, I don't know, it's like 4.7 or something, or 4.7472, some bullshit. And, that's your full charge. It's sort of a little bit different between lithium ion and lithium polymer. And I've been banging around trying to find what I can use out of my dead electronics to actually charge some of these batteries. Now I'm getting a little bit of traction understanding electronics versus what I was taught about basic analog electronics, VIR, and you got your, your volts and your resistors and your transistors and your very basic circuitry sort of thing, and you're doing all this maths and it's just blowing right over your head at 13 years of age. It's just boring as hell. Now I'm starting to understand a few things, but we've moved now from the age of fixing FM radios and AM radios into more digital times with lithium batteries and stuff. I have a tablet that I crack the shits with, and basically, well, it's got a lithium polymer battery, but you've got these stupid bloomin' what's his names. I might as well take it in to show it. There's a certain sort of plastic thing you get. Plastic leads. Now this is a it's like adhesive tape with bloomin' copper wires in it, and that's what they've got for the Samsung. The battery is buggered anyway. You get sick of these bastards not playing ball, so you bang them over your knee when you're an angry half-Irish hillbilly. Yeah. But anyway, I don't know if I could solder something. You can see there, my gosh, the focus is actually working now. Plus, positive, negative, P negative and P positive there coming on that ribbon at the top there. And if you can't see it, I might even zoom in a little bit. There you go. My gosh. It's funny how this phone wants to work sometimes, and other times you get halfway through the video and it just shits itself. Yeah. But anyway, that's a dead battery. But I don't know if it can use this as a charge unit. Plus it tries to turn the screen on and fuck you around. You know what it's like. These things have got an agenda of their own because they were a circuit built to do other stuff other than just charge batteries. This little banger, hang on a minute. This little banger here, some of you may recognise if you watch me for a very long time. It was given to me as a gift by some e-beggar who I used to support. 5.5 volt solar panel in it. This here is just basically a sandwiched bit of plexiglass with a few LEDs that then glow sticks to give you a big diffuser effect. It used to light up the whole of one side, but never mind the stupid LEDs. Positive and negative coming from the solar panel. Positive from the battery, I can tell because I've cut the end and I tried to cut up there and didn't manage to cut. And that's just fallen off, but that come from that one right there. I don't know if that's the negative or what. And that's a bit of a trouble, how this originally died. Well, the battery died in it anyway, but it ended up the bloomin' micro USB broke anyway. So I couldn't charge it, and then I could charge it with solar, but then the battery itself just was turning to crap anyway. So even days charging with solar and still, the battery would barely do anything. I think it only charged at 0.5 amp anyway. But having said that, that one's the positive that it's just broken off for. I don't know if that's negative, but I think this is lithium ion. So I don't want to go and whack something, and overcharge a lithium polymer and blow the life out of it. Not that you're probably going to charge terribly fast with a solar panel, but I don't really need the wrong voltage in it, because you can go and look up lithium polymer and you can see what happens. They bloat up, and then next thing they start pouring smoke and they actually pop their little thing here. Now, this one here, I couldn't work out what this was. I'm trying to think, and then I worked out what it was. It must be a dash cam. No, it couldn't be. Where's the camera? Blah, blah, blah. All my dash cams are square. This is rectangular. No. Very first dash cam I owned was rectangular. Now, those same plastic ribbon things I showed you on the Samsung there, the one near me thumb takes one of those and goes to a screen, and the other one near me middle finger there goes to a camera. And that one there is for your micro SD card. And this here, the dead giveaway, is it's one of those bigger plugs you use for cameras, not the normal one that's in your phone, but the larger one that's, I think it's a mini USB instead of a micro USB that goes in most of your cameras. And I saw one component that looked like it was clear plastic, and yes, indeed, it was a thingo. Wasn't too sure, but I do remember the current dash cam I've got, which is the same brand, like the one in the G6 and the van, they're basically identical, except I think the one in the van's got a bit better night vision. They both got it, but one actually does it really well and the other doesn't do it very good at all. And I always remember they had a power button on top, and guess what? Power button on top. Microphone at my index finger there. And the buttons that were around the screen. So they'd have the screen this side with the buttons there and your camera on the other side. And for those of you who don't know, some batteries you get will just be plain Jane with nothing. I'll show you. I got another battery bank I had, and I think the charge control circuit was buggered. It never got past the base 4.2 volts to top it off. So it had bulk charge, but it never actually finished. So this is out of an Asus that I had that was just the slowest piece of shit in the world. And I cracked the shits with it, but I didn't wreck the battery. So the battery might be good, it might not be good. This is out of this other one I had. And I'm fairly certain that just goes straight in. And I can't feel anything except battery. So this is... the protection circuit was part of the charge circuit. And this one is just a plain... there you go, that's 5,000 milliamp hour. And that may well actually be good, just because it never got past 80% charge. Now, some of them are like that, where you just got the plain leads coming off. And others of them, they have this little yellow adhesive tape. Don't do what you've done before and bloody lose your focus as soon as I get to this side of it. There you go. Got your yellow adhesive tape, and you have a little circuit board folded into the foil, and that's actually charge control chips there. So let's see if this bugger wants to play ball. No. This phone always goes for a while, and then we lose all our focus after a certain point. Oh, we might even get it back sometimes. There you go. And I hope it stays. See? Positive and negative. So I don't know exactly what tabs are coming out of the battery, but they're actually little bits of sheet metal, as you can see me big dirty thumb there. That bit of sheet metal there, and the other one that you can see up where it says B negative, that's the actual leads coming out of this battery, which is only 110 milliamp hour. It's a tiny little dashcam battery. And in the newer ones, I think the dashcam battery is even smaller. It's not, it's literally like about a 1/4 inch square or something. But anyway, we've got a positive and we've got a negative written on the circuit. So you got your ones coming from your main dash cam there that you can see your black and your red, but that is your incoming from the dash cam to the control circuit, and then the control circuit to your battery is your B positive and your B negative. So there we go. So there's a dead giveaway that I could tell that this was indeed the dash cam, and I'll show you that dead giveaway right about now. And I mustn't have done it for long enough. Yeah, it doesn't want to do it. Before, when I plugged it in, it was going to do it. It's a it's got a little noise it makes out of its little speaker. I'll show you a little speaker. I think I showed already. And then now it focuses all back to turning to shit thanks to the brilliance of Samsung. There we go. So there's a certain noise that the first dash cam I had used to make, and I remember that noise, and as soon as I plugged it in, this thing come on. Now I've tried to, while I was paused, plug and unplug a few times there. It ain't going to make the noise because it's just charging straight up, whereas usually it would actually just turn the cam on, but then you can actually turn it off there. So anyway, that's red, and that's going to keep being red because this takes bloody like 3.5 hours to charge this little battery. They always do for some reason when you get a dash cam. They're the smallest batteries, but they take the longest time to charge. And the reason probably is because small batteries can't take a very fast charge. There might be something to do with it. But anyway, even if that's the case, I may have found the way that I can charge at 5,000 milliamp hour, even though extremely slow, because I guarantee you this cheap camera, that'll be lithium polymer. So I may have found the answers to recharge my other stuff, and yeah, the two that died the other day plus the other 5,000 milliamp hour I just showed you, and maybe even the 4,750 Asus tablet one there, just to keep them topped up a bit, just to, you know, give them a chance. And yeah, someday I should go online and buy some of those $2 circuits and actually turn them into USB batteries again. But for the meantime, you know, I'm buying things like this for $10. I've got one of the other ones for $5. I'll show you the other ones too. Both of them are on the charge. This tacky, dirty ass, cheap looking heap of crap, which actually is working quite well. And this one, it looks to be a lot higher quality. Now the other ones look like a completely different manufacturer, a completely different way of doing everything, just the way the casing is designed, the way the plugs are, everything just seems different. My hope is, and yes, that does have a keyring, my hope is that $5, 2,000 milliamp hour, 3,350 milliamp hour, that was $10, and the other white one you see was $10, and that's 3,000 milliamp hour. And that's actually got an LED light in the front of the, like a little torch in the front of the white one. But yeah, I hope to test all of these for 2-3 months, and you know, if we have some breakdowns, we have some breakdowns. If one is still working at 6 months, I'm going to go and buy like 10 of whatever is still working, because obviously it's a good manufacturer. And these are all very cheap, but I want to... The last two I got were made by the same manufacturer. It was a dead giveaway with the design of them, with this writing the capacity on a digital display on the front, all that sort of stuff. I'm trying other manufacturers. Even though it's all the same department store, I can tell it's different subcontractors that make them, just by the way they're done and the difference in each of the builds. So when we find out what one's decent, we'll probably, but they'll probably all be pieces of shit. But anyway, experimentation.